Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Patrick Prohaska from Lightbridge Academy. And today, for Lightbridge Happy Hour, we are focusing on action, adventure, excitement, anything that you feel is missing from your life right now that can bring you a deeper sense of joy and connection to the external world. So we all have been going through this period in this quarantine and in this period of mass consciousness fear and so forth, where it feels like the walls are closing in on us. And literally, in one sense, they are, in the sense that we've all been called upon to quarantine, to avoid other people, to not go out in public any more than we need to. And when you're in that situation, you can really begin to feel like life has no flavor at all. There's nothing exciting going on in your life. Every day you're just doing the same things you did the day before. We're all kind of in this low level survival mode right now. And whenever you're in survival mode, concepts such as action, adventure, excitement, the joy of the external world, and all of that gets forgotten. It gets kind of swept aside as though it's either counterproductive to want to have adventure in your life, it's dangerous to want to have adventure in your life, or it's just frivolous and silly to want to have adventure in your life. But I'm here to tell you that if you can create some sort of energetic pattern of action and adventure, even if you're not going out into if you're not going to dance clubs, you're not traveling, you're not going to Las Vegas to gamble, you're not hiking on mountaintops that you have to travel long distances to get to, even if you're not doing those things, you can still have that satisfying energy of adventure inside your heart, and that can sustain you until you are physically able to do the real thing. So everybody, please make sure you're in a very safe and comfortable place with no distractions. Please don't do anything potentially dangerous. Please set aside any video games you might be playing or books you might be reading. Beautiful. Close those browser windows that might distract you. And now say yes to allow me to connect energetically with you and with your higher self. Beautiful. So we're going to begin with a little bit of energy cleansing and energy shifting. And then eventually we're going to get to calling upon people to see what you'd like to work on today. But in order to stick with the theme for action and adventure, I have a question for every single one of you. If you participate live, please answer the question, what have you been doing to spice up your life? What have you been doing to add adventure to your life? Or what do you plan to do to increase your adventure? Or a third question you can answer is, now that you've had time to reevaluate your life, what do you plan to do in the future to make it more exciting than it's ever been before? So those are your three questions that you can answer. And then we'll get to whatever it is you would like to work on. So you can see I'm wearing my Life is Short, Do Stuff That Matters t-shirt today. Funny thing about this shirt, before quarantine happened, I would wear this in public. People would always stop me and photograph it. They loved this shirt so much. I got a different reaction after quarantine started, so I had to stop wearing it for a while. But I'm really happy to be breaking it out once again today. So everyone, let's just kind of get connected energetically here if you've drifted away. I want to begin with a twofold energetic process to help cleanse away some energy that's blocking you while simultaneously invoking and stoking energy that's going to make your life more interesting and livable. So, first of all, let's just bring in those energies of excitement and enthusiasm. So if you've forgotten what enthusiasm feels like, if you've had so many things happen to slow you down and inconvenience you and make your life feel frustrating and difficult, let's bring in your capacity for enthusiasm once again. And one of the things that you will realize as you re embrace that energy of enthusiasm and excitement and joyful potential in the world, you'll begin to realize that a lot of the things that you've been called upon to do for the protection of yourself and other people are a little bit less annoying and frustrating than you might be thinking. So it becomes much easier to manage, to tolerate doing what you need to do to protect yourself and to protect others when you haven't lost your capacity for enthusiasm and excitement. Beautiful. And if there are any energies you're holding on to right now that normally you don't have, such as you're going stir crazy, you feel like a pinned in animal, you feel trapped. Beautiful. It feels like your home life has become stale or even like moldy and unpleasant because there's no circulation, no air flowing, both figuratively and literally. Just clear those energies away so you can know how to and what it feels like to experience enthusiasm and excitement at all times, no matter what you're doing and no matter what's going on in the environment around you. Beautiful. Now, I want to go into the first attunement for today, which I think is the heart and soul of everything that I'm talking about today. And that is when you think about it, when you remember back into your past, remember into your childhood, even if you had a painful childhood and a chaotic and drama driven home life, you know that every single child has a capacity to visit made up worlds, to visit different galaxies, to go on adventures, even if they never leave their bedroom. And I want to rekindle that for all of you right now if you've lost that. The ability to just sit down on the floor, sit down on your bed, and have a couple of tools in front of you that you can use your imagination to create an entire universe out of. Children are very good with this. You put a child on the floor if he's not hungry or in a bad mood or something bad is happening, you put that child on the floor, give him 3 blocks or 3 toys, and he or she can create an entire universe out of just those 3 items, purely through the power of the imagination. So I want to rekindle that for everybody right now because almost every single one of us as adults have lost that capacity to create an entire universe out of just a few tools that are directly in front of us. So say yes to accept and receive this attunement for this type of imagination based creation. Beautiful. So just pulling that ability, that template, or that blueprint for that ability to have a rich, vibrant, powerful imagination life as it's understood and experienced by your higher self. And we're offering it to you in your current egoic persona now. Now, your inner child knows how to do this, but the vast majority of us are completely disconnected from our inner child because that inner child faced trauma and pain and abandonment and rejection and fear that caused it to shut down as we moved into our adult life. So I also want to send some healing energy into that fragment of your persona that is your inner child, so you can rely on its experience of using this gift in order to help you in your current life. So we're simply creating once again that capacity to use your imagination in very rich and powerful ways in order to create an entire universe that you can inhabit and explore and have adventures in out of just a few tools in front of you. Beautiful. Now, there's some real magic in this that I want to get to in a second, but first, let's lock this in. Everyone, take a very, very deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release whenever you're ready. Okay, beautiful. So, what I want to layer upon this is the immense power of the human mind itself. If you have that capacity to simply use your imagination to create entire universes for you to explore and have adventures in, if it is true, as I've said so many times in the past, that you create your experience in this world, in the here and now, through your thoughts, your beliefs, your judgments, and so forth, it should be really easy for you to see how the power of your imagination can fuel your experience in this reality here and now. That if you get into this vivid mindset where you are creating a universe that is the exact replica of your deepest desires, that by exploring that universe and embracing it and having fun in it, you can actually empower those things to emerge in your day to day life right now. So say yes to kind of expand on this so you can understand this attunement of action and adventure and imagination. You can understand how that can power your creative potential in this lifetime. So say yes for that. Okay, beautiful. Everyone take another very deep breath and hold it for a moment to lock that in. And then release that when you're ready. So I'm going to let that settle for just a moment. And I just want to reinforce an understanding that law of attraction is always functional in your life. That absolutely everything that manifests in your experience is a creation that you participated in. And it's through those thoughts, beliefs, judgments, expectations, fears, and so forth that you create that experience in the world. So just imagine if you can joyfully step into your imagination and really powerfully picture what life can be for you and really round it out and feel it with every single sense in your body, that will really empower what you broadcast into the universe and what gets reflected back to you by the universe. So just bear that in mind. So realize that nothing ever emerges out of a vacuum. That is negative things as well as positive things. Positive experiences never just poof emerge out of a vacuum. Everything that you experience is preconditioned by something. In fact, everything that you experience is the perfect expression of the energy that created it. So if you feel like you're in this situation where nothing good ever happens to you, there's never an unexpected positive surprise, surprises are always negative, your luck is really bad. If it weren't for bad luck, you'd have none at all. Just realize that the power of your imagination can shift all of that for you radically and permanently if you really tap into it. So the next thing I want to round out with this, and like I said, we're kind of bounding forward really quickly here. So the next thing I want to build into this is the power of your imagination as it is expressed in your dream life. Because if you can dream it, you can create it in your life. That is the law of mental equivalence, which I don't really want to go into. But your dream life, especially if you're lucid dreaming, that is your workshop for creating what you desire in your life. It's a lot of other things as well. The dream state has a lot of different functions, but one of the things that you can use it for is to fuel and empower your satisfaction, your joy in life, because you've had these awesome adventures and exciting experiences while you're dreaming. And at the same time, you can use your dreams to fuel those experiences in your day to day life in this reality. So let's just come into alignment with that now. Begin to clear away anything and everything that blocks you from enjoying vivid, rich dreams when you're asleep. And for a lot of you, it's just that you just don't sleep long enough to really get into those vivid, rich dreams, because they generally happen after you've been asleep for about 6 hours, because the brain is very, very intelligent about triaging what needs to be done while you're asleep, and healing your physical body and sorting through your memories to the brain is much more important to your survival than dreaming and adventure. So those get pushed to the end. So we just want to create an atmosphere where you can sleep longer hours and you can actually begin to dream earlier in the night rather than at the end. And those dreams can be every bit as rich and vibrant as the ones that happen after you've had 8 hours of sleep. And then the most important part of this is the lucid dreaming aspect, where you can actually choose your adventure while you're asleep and dreaming. So let's activate that for everyone now. So please accept and receive a Lightbridge attunement so you can lucid dream, as does your higher self. We're simply drawing the knowledge of how to do that from your higher self and installing it within your current egoic persona now. So when you are asleep, you can choose your own adventure. Beautiful. Everyone take a deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready. Okay, beautiful. And now I can feel within the group there's a blockage to literal adventure, to taking adventures in this lifetime, like travel, for example. A lot of you seem to have this energetic pattern of yes, but. So when there's an adventure that you would like to take, it's very easy for you to vividly imagine what that would be like, but you never get around to doing it because of that yes, but energy. And the yes, but energy is that feeling that it's too much work, it's not worth the effort, it would be an awesome thing to do, but here are 25 different reasons why it's impossible for me, 25 different reasons why I'm forbidden to do it, 25 different reasons why it's dangerous to do it, and 25 reasons why I'm not ready for it yet, maybe next year. So I want to clear, just as a big lump sum, all of that yes but energy from everyone right now. So if there is something that you want to do with your life, if there is a trip that you've been thinking about for the past 20 years and you've just never gotten around to doing it, I want to clear away all those blockages that cause you to just create a catalog of reasons not to do it rather than a catalog of reasons why you should do it. So, everyone, let's just purge this yes but energy pattern right now. Of course, different people have different shades of blockage in their yes but lists. Some people have a list of yes buts that's mostly the it's impossible for me to ever do this. Okay, some people have yes but lists that are mostly, I'm not allowed to do this. I've got responsibilities, I've got children to take care of, somebody would be angry if I did this, and so forth. Some people have, it's dangerous for me to do this. So sure, it's exciting, but what if this happens? What if I get robbed? What if I screw up the flight and I book it wrong or something like that? So let's clear all the danger issues. And then other people have that list of, I'm not ready for it yet. Here are 50 things I need to do first before I can allow myself to do that. So you just want to clear any type of yes but list that you may have, so that when an opportunity for action and adventure comes your way, you're much more likely to say yes and embrace it, rather than get excited about it and then poof, transfer your energy into disappointment because of that catalog of reasons why you can't. Beautiful. Mm. And I'm reminded, I want to modify this a little bit because I'm reminded of an old friend I had like 30 years ago back when I lived in Kansas. And there was a person I knew who would always like embrace the notion of taking an adventure. He'd get halfway into it and then the yes but list would kick in. So for him, he would like get all excited about a trip to Rome, and he'd actually travel to Rome and get settled into his hotel, and then that yes but list would take over. He'd be afraid about what would happen if he went out, and maybe he doesn't speak the language well, and everything is too far away, and he can't figure out the bus system. So he would travel to Rome and then spend an entire week in his hotel room watching TV and ordering room service. So if you have that like partial completion of plans, and then you get stuck in the middle of it in the execution, let's clear that blockage away as well. Okay, beautiful. And then I want to do one more attunement for everyone, and then I'm going to take some callers. So we're just moving at breakneck pace today. So usually it would take me 45 minutes to get through all of this, but one final attunement for everyone here before we take live callers. I want to do a deeper awareness of all of the ways in which your life right now, as it exists at this very moment, how your life is an adventure. And it's up to you to either embrace it and choose to play along with the adventure and find excitement in it, or to be bored and annoyed by the adventure that you're living. A lot of us, our lives are like a really fascinating, beautiful novel. And you might be the type of person who gets halfway through the novel and then you're just bored to tears with it and you set it aside. So I want to just activate for everyone a deeper awareness of the degree to which your life already is an adventure. Because once you recognize that, then you can also begin to take control of your adventure. So everyone say yes for that. Okay, beautiful. Everyone take a very, very deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready. Wow. Okay, so we have an enormous group today, and I see a lot of people joined in a little bit late, so you missed the opening part of this. So when I post the replay, feel free to go back and watch what you missed because it all kind of flowed together in a single thing. Okay, so I've got a message from Brenda here. It's, I feel like I can't plan for the future because I have no idea what life will be as a result of COVID-19 and the impact of that. Okay, so I want to work on this on two levels. So the first level I want to work on is the entire set of belief systems that you may have that tell you that you simply cannot choose anything for yourself until you know exactly what the outcome is going to be. So, this is a very, very common form of action paralysis. The action paralysis is I don't know what the final outcome is, therefore, I simply can't do anything now. It's too dangerous to choose something because whatever I choose, it's going to be obsolete by the time we get there. And I want to replace that with a dynamic awareness of how things happen, of the ease and grace with which you can course correct as new information comes your way. So, everyone, just please allow this awareness to emerge within you that whenever you're in the place of not being able to take action because you don't know all the details, you can't see everything, you don't know what the final outcome is going to be, I want you to recognize that that's just the human condition. And the human condition is not a good reason to live in action paralysis. So let's just clear that for everyone and invoke a deeper ability to stay conscious, to stay aware, to scan your environment, to recognize threats when they emerge without overreacting to them and without panicking, so that you can course correct as you move towards your goal. Now, the fact of the matter is, it's exceptionally rare in human experience to set a plan and have that plan unfold exactly as you plan, as you think it will. So we're all experts at this already. I just want to reinforce it for you. The feeling that I'm getting is that, well, this current situation is unique. We've never had anything like this before. The dangers are higher. We don't know what the world's going to be like. And yes, that's true. That's just the fear of transition. And as I've said many times before, we are in a major transition right now. This is a pivot point for humanity. But what awaits us on the other side of this pivot point is exciting. It's not more danger and fear. So let's kind of come into alignment with that. Okay, beautiful. So I said I was wanting to work on this on two levels. Actually, I combined those two levels. The first was the action paralysis that comes from not knowing what all the details are and what the final outcome is. And then the second part of it is that ability to course correct as new information emerges. And that way you can get the ball rolling now. And if you have to course correct later, you'll do it gracefully. But you'll be in a better position because you'll already have momentum at that time. So beautiful. So thank you so much, Brenda, for that question. I really appreciate it. And then if you are um, calling in, so I want to get my list of participants here. You can raise your hand and I can unmute you. And if you're on the telephone calling in, you hit *9 to raise your hand. It's not *2, it's *9. And we are going to go to Devrani first. Hi. So Devrani, I have unmuted you here, but you may be muted on your end.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Beautiful. Hi.
Hi. Hi. Yes. I like adventure. I actually moved from my country to come to the UK to actually focus on my adventure and with traveling and so on. I've done some traveling, and then suddenly it comes to a standstill because I actually lost my job, and then I was on a temporary work permit and so on.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know which direction to go. I'm in a crossroads at the moment.
Yeah. So you did kind of answer the question that I had. What have you been doing for adventure and traveling to new countries and embracing new lifestyles is an
Yeah.
awesome answer to that.
Yeah.
So what I want to clear away is this feeling that you and several other people have that this transition we're going through right now, that the blockages are permanent. So because they're not.
Yeah.
It's it can be very frustrating to have your life disrupted. And all of us have had our lives disrupted in different ways. Some of us have it worse than others. So we don't want to make it a competition about who's had the most disruption. Just want to
Mhm.
bring in a deep recognition that this disruption is a transition, it's not the new state.
Okay.
So we are going into a new state of being. And in order to get into that new state of being, we need to go through a transition period. We need to do that pivot.
Yes.
But a lot of us are in this space where we think that this transition, this pivot, that this is the permanent new state. But it's not. This is just the transition. We can think of this as like a global puberty process. It's not fun when you're going through with it, but it's awesome once it's finished. So let's
Yes.
just kind of bring that energy in for everybody. So it's a deep awareness that the disruption that we are feeling right now is not our new state, it's the gateway to our new state. And as we pass through it into the new state, after we're there, we'll recognize on a deeper level what the purpose of it was. It's hard to see right now, but something better is around the corner. So I just want to bring that in because a lot of us are slipping into hopelessness. A lot of us are slipping into helplessness because it feels like God, who knows how long this is going to last? Feels like it should be over by now, but it's not. So I just want to adjust that. Now, doesn't mean that this will magically make everything right in your life again. Just brings you into a deeper place of surrender to it so that you can take control of it. And it's really interesting how that works. A lot of us think surrender means giving up, giving in, um, surrender is death. But no, surrender to the process will help give you power over it. So I want to bring that out for everyone. Okay, beautiful. So how does that feel for you?
Yeah, good. I've been really very productive during this period. I've
Hmm.
done lots of stuff, to be more knowledgeable and so on. But I still have the state of confusion as to
Yeah.
which path should I take.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
really common. I think I think every single person who's written me a
Mm.
question or and so forth, that's the theme. I just don't know what to do
Yeah.
because I don't know what will come.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Okay.
wow. Well, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I'm going to put you back on mute again. And just so everyone knows, my guides, I've been busy too. My guides have, they have dumped a load of work in my lap that I'd never envisioned possible before. I've got, if I want to do if I'm going to do what my guides have asked me to do, I have a massive workload ahead of me for the next few months. So kind of scared of that myself. So, okay, we're going to go to Miriam now. So Miriam, I've unmuted you on my end.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you, Patrick. Well, answering your question, I've been gardening and cooking, learning to cook as my adventure. My previous life was always books, and now I find enjoyment in learning how to cook and also growing some vegetables. And for the future, my adventure will be having some land, which I have,
Hmm,
and growing some vegetables for sustainability.
awesome. Thank you. That's beautiful. What can I help you with today?
Sure. I have I have the sense that I have lived my life in the wrong way, giving to others instead of myself first. And then that regret, I want to clear that away that I have wasted my life.
Okay,
And
beautiful.
now
So let's
I want to I want to live my second part of my life and to connect with the grid of infinite abundance and have a second chance to do that.
So, wow. Okay, so for everyone on the call, and you especially, let's clear away that level of grief and that feeling that you've wasted your life. Because the fact of the matter is, you haven't wasted anything. So, the experiences that you've had have all been learning experiences. So, even if you today can look back on your life and say, I would not do it the same way today as I did it back then, okay, that's a learning type of thing. It's and if you get stuck in regret, then that blocks you from moving forward into your something new. So let's just clear that regret away, because regret is a way of anchoring yourself in the past. And if you can clear all of that regret and just recognize that your history is your history, then it frees you to move forward in the way that you would like. So let me explain for everyone what this means and how it works in terms of law of attraction. So every single thing that's happened in your life has been colored by or created by your thoughts, your beliefs, your judgments, and so on. We've already talked about that a lot. So that means that everything that you create in your future is being created at this very moment by your thoughts, your beliefs, your judgments, emotions, and so on. You are actively creating your future right now in this instant. And if you are stuck in the energy of regret about the past, your regret about the past is coloring what you're creating in the future. So regret automatically causes you to create more of the thing that you regret when you eventually create your future. And that's why it's really good to come to terms with it and to clear it away. So let's just wash it away so you don't unintentionally and on autopilot continue doing the things that you regret doing in the past by being stuck in the regret energy now. So let's just purge that. How do you feel?
Yes, it feel good. It feel like clear in my head.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you so much, Maria. I'm going to put you back on mute.
Oh, what about the second part where I wanted to connect with the grid of infinite abundance for the second part of
Yeah.
my life?
So the thing is, like that sort of thing, you just do it. You just believe it's possible, and you allow that connection. I think one of the reasons why people don't connect with the abundance that's available to them is they believe that there's some magic formula or special thing they need to do in order to do it. And the fact is, you are never ever ever disconnected from that grid. It feels like you're disconnected from it to the degree that you believe you're disconnected from it. So it's in your belief. If you believe that you have that connection, it will manifest in your life. If you believe that you're missing something and there's a secret sauce or secret formula that other people have that you don't, and they're connected and you're not, then that's the experience that you have. So it's kind of a funny answer that I often give. Whenever somebody says, how do I connect to my higher self? How do I connect to spirit? How do I connect to God? How do I connect to the grid of infinite abundance? My answer is always the same. You are never disconnected from those things, but your experience is that you're disconnected to the degree that you believe you're disconnected. So does that make sense, or is that too?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
beautiful.
We have
Okay.
to be confident that
Yeah,
we are creators, and then we can bring into the reality everything that we dream of.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, beautiful. So let me
Thank
mute
you.
you. Oh, you're very welcome. And then I have a question coming in through the Q&A that I think is really important here, and it just vanished. Where did it go? Okay, my screen is being funny. Oh my, there's a lot here. So, Sayuri, uh, would you address strengthening our innate ability to connect with our inner truth? So that's that's what we just did. You are always connected with your inner truth. So yeah, beautiful. Um, Now, what you're asking is, how do you figure out whether to trust information that's coming from supposed authority figures and other people and so forth? Um, I can go on a rant and a diatribe about that, because I don't think that uh, it always gets me worked up and it goes down a rabbit hole when I do this. But the fact of the matter is this, that the internet is absolutely infested with lies and misinformation. And a lot of those lies and misinformation are designed to make you hate somebody else. So the degree to which you fall into that trap of divisiveness, of fear mongering, of hatred of people, to that to the degree to which you fall into that trap, you block your spiritual growth, you block your ascension, and you block the ascension of other people. So my advice is to, because Facebook and Twitter are just infested with lies and misinformation, just don't use them. I use them myself, and I know that every now and then I get worked up about it. But the fact of the matter is this: whenever somebody takes time, energy, and effort to create a video that is designed to make you distrust or dislike somebody else, that person has an agenda, and that agenda is very rarely hugs and puppies. The agenda is usually to sow, is a political agenda of some sort. And my advice is just let go of it. You know, a couple of weeks ago, there's this psychotic video that came out that everyone got all excited about. And my response to that was, if you see that video and your gut reaction is to hit share rather than unfriend, then I don't even know why you were in my inner circle. So, but anyway, I don't want to go down that pathway too much. We're here talking about action, adventure, and joy, not the treachery of social media. So sorry if that is an unsatisfying answer, but just trust yourself. Trust yourself. Um, Tune inward and say, is this true for me? And recognize that it's those triggers inside you that might cause you to um, get worked up about something that's completely and utterly untrue. If you've read my book, Brain Cells, Escape Your Mental Prisons, the very first chapter is about finding ways to navigate the lie for profit world that we live in. So anyway, I don't want to derail this by going too far into that. So Hannah says, I can't trust myself and I can't get myself to do things. So let's do a little clearing for everyone here. So the feeling is that you second guess everything you do. So even when you make a decision, if the decision feels exciting to you at the moment that you make it, you slip into the energy of second guessing whether it's really good. And that is actually that yes, but energy that I was talking about earlier beginning to emerge. So let's just clear away from everyone all of that second guessing. Beautiful. Okay, wonderful. And I want to round this out with Elena's question. So Elena is in this place where she's having trouble disconnecting from the feelings and emotions and fears of other people. So one of the primary ways people end up second guessing themselves is they're too open to the fears and opinions of other people, that empathy works against them. When you have that aha moment that, oh my God, this is what I would love to do and I'm really excited about it, a lot of the thoughts that emerge later that says, well, maybe that's not such a good idea after all, those don't even belong to you, they belong to other people. So I want to clear away the um, the false narrative that can get fed to you through being too wide open to the energies of other people. So I want to make it so we don't close down your empathy and your intuitive awareness. Just want to tweak it in such a way that you can really recognize what's truly yours and what's not. Okay. And then going back to Hannah, that feeling of second guessing yourself based on the opinions of other people, at its foundation is a belief system that your opinions aren't as valid, aren't as intelligent, aren't as true as the opinions of other people. So let's clear anything like that away from everyone who's on the call. Anywhere and everywhere you've decided that if you have a thought, you must verify it with somebody else first, or that other people always know better than you. Let's clear all of that away. Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, and now we're going to go to Vicky. So Vicky, I've unmuted you. And Vicky, you're probably still muted on your end, but I have hit the unmute button.
Okay,
Hi.
figured
Excellent.
that out. Hi, I'm doing it on my phone this time, so I didn't know how to do it. Thank you. So I have been spending a lot of time recognizing and looking for the beauty in nature or wherever my surroundings are, and noticing the abundance that is everywhere, whether it be the number of leaves on the tree to something in the house or whatever. So, and that's been feeling really good.
Awesome.
So I'm not really sure what is up with this recent experience. It may be something that you just talked about. I'm not sure if it's acceptance of myself or if it's a pattern of making myself wrong. But I came across some information the other day, and I sat with it, and I looked at my intent, and because of the kind of the work that I do, you know, I was so balanced, felt good, and I thought, I'm going to send this information out because I really felt into it. It could be helpful. And I put that information out, and with that statement that this is the intent, it's being sent out as maybe it's helpful to you or somebody that you know. Take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate, just delete and have a beautiful day. I got some, one major response that was,
yeah. So here, let me cut right through it so we can get, we have like very limited time today, and it's pretty clear what the issue is. So let's clear away the way that the one person or the two people or the three people who criticize you, that somehow their voice is 1,000 times louder than the people who agree with you, and therefore it hurts so much more. That one person who's critical of you has more power in your life than the 50 or 60 people who are appreciative of what you do. So let's just clear that away. That is a wound left over from childhood in which it felt like the finger was pointed at you unfairly, that people were critical of you in the way they weren't critical of other people, that everything was dangerous because you were constantly being evaluated and found lacking, and so forth. We just want to clear that away, because the fact of the matter is this: whenever you open yourself up to the world, there will always be somebody who dislikes you, and there will always be people who like you. So if your focus is on the people who are in resistance to you, rather than the people that resonate with you, then you'll be blocked from moving forward with your life. So just want to clear that up. Okay, what on earth is going on? So let's just clear it out now. I don't know what that is, but okay, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, some spirit is chanting along with us here. So okay, beautiful. Now take a really deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready. Yeah, and I'm just kind of reminded of there's a quote from Oprah Winfrey. She basically says, don't ever step into the public spotlight if you can't stand somebody hating you, because it's always going to happen no matter what. So if you focus on the people who are angry because they didn't even take time to read whatever it was or take it in the spirit that you intended, then you're just setting yourself up for pain in the long run. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Beautiful. So I'm going to put you back on mute. And then we're going to go to a phone number ending in 2378.
Hi. Hey,
Hi.
Patrick.
Hey, who is this?
It's Destiny.
Destiny. Hi. What are you doing for excitement and adventure?
Oh, man. Not too much, it doesn't seem. Kind of seems like I'm in a down. I'm like
Okay.
going through.
I just want to say for everyone who's listening right now, that's not a bad answer. You know, it's an honest answer. So if you're not or you haven't been doing anything to create excitement and adventure in your life, it's better to honestly say that than to make something up just to, you know, appease me. So beautiful. I applaud you for that. Um,
Thank
so
you.
let's create for you a deeper willingness to actually do things to create joy and adventure in your life. And we'll just um, kind of
Okay.
open that up for
Sounds
you
good.
and for everyone as you are telling me what the intention is for raising your hand.
I'm I'm feeling this really like there's something going on in my solar plexus, but it's like through my whole body. So it's like the front and back
Mm-hmm.
solar plexus. I feel like I'm being punched in the gut right now.
Is it above the diaphragm, at the diaphragm, or below the
It's like
diaphragm?
right, it feels like it's right right underneath my ribs, right at the diaphragm,
Okay,
but
so
through my entire body.
yeah, that's your power center. Okay, so for everyone, let's just do little physical healing here to balance out any imbalances you have in your energy field that is creating some sort of blockage or um, yeah, it feels inflamed with you.
Oh my gosh, man, it
Yeah.
hurts. Oh,
Yeah, so let's just clear that out for everyone. And everyone on the call, they're going to have blockages in different places. In fact, most of the people on the call right now, I can feel they have a blockage in the throat. Yours is in the belly. Others have it in the heart, the third eye. Okay.
my root, I feel it in my root too, my root chakra.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense. The root chakra and the power center are very intimately connected with each other. It's hard to feel that you have power if you don't feel
Yeah,
grounded
I think
and
that,
secure. So
yeah,
that's how
yep,
they
that's what I
connect.
feel like.
Okay, beautiful. So this is just opening and lubricating all of the major energy channels of your body to release blockages where they exist. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so let's just let that settle for everybody. And the sense that I get with you is this is the type of thing that will fade away. It's not going to be like flipping a light switch, boom, it's gone. So it's just going to kind of
Hmm.
ebb and flow away from you through the rest of the day.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to put you back on mute. And then we are going to go to Maria. Hi. Maria you there? So this is Maria in Austria. And I've unmuted you on my end, so you might be muted on yours. Okay, so Maria's not coming through. So oh,
Yes, I
beautiful. Here
am.
we are. Okay, excellent.
Sorry, it took me a while to find my phone. I had tucked it away in my
Oh
pocket.
no. Okay.
Thank you.
What are
Thank
you
you
doing
very
for excitement?
Actually thinking about it. Wow, nothing.
Okay,
But
that's,
I am
I'm
excited.
glad you answered honestly. This is a
Yes, I
call
am.
for you to choose something to do that's exciting
But I'll
for
tell
you.
you what is exciting for me. Like every day I wake up and now it's time to like do your garden. And because the stores were closed, only now the garden stores are opening up.
Hmm.
And I'm very, very excited. Every day I go forward with a little bit of my work. I'm very excited. I don't know if that
Awesome.
counts for excitement, but I'm very, very
Well,
excited.
it counts for doing something. It counts for movement, and you know, I think that's awesome as well because you're not being stagnant. And if
Yes.
you're being stagnant, it's harder to get enthusiasm. So, what can I help you with today?
Um, Actually, the second person asked the same question.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. I'm glad that
Yeah,
we
but
have
okay,
some
I'll go
themes
back.
emerging here.
Yes, but I'll go back to something that's really bothering me with my private work. And in spite of doing so much of work, I somehow am still holding on to that victim mentality.
Yeah. Okay, let's
I'm
do a
wrestling with my.
clearing because I think this is really important for everyone because we are in a condition right now where if you have um, a capacity to slip into victim energy and so forth, it's magnified right now. So let's just
Yes, with this
disconnect
whole
everyone from victim consciousness at the moment to the degree that it's possible. Because
COVID.
it is true that every single one of us is facing frustrations, challenges, difficulties.
Yes.
And if we can see them in the scale of being difficulties, blockages, and so forth, rather than as evidence that we're a victim, without slipping into the oh my god, this again, I'm such a loser, I'm such a victim, everything bad happens to me, if there's
Yes.
anything that can go wrong it will, and it's always to me. You want to clear that emotional reaction away from the recognition that these are just challenges that
Hmm.
are part of this pivot and transition process we're in. Wow. Wow, that was intense.
Yes,
Got an
I feel so
electric jolt
victimized
from that. Okay,
that I
everyone
cannot. Yes.
take a really deep breath. Sorry to talk over you, Maria, but
Yeah, yes,
everyone
please
to
go on.
take a
I was
deep
going into
breath
story.
and release. Okay, how do you feel?
Yes, good. I feel very held back by this COVID and
Yeah,
things are closed. You know, the clinic is closed. I can't
yeah.
go at my
Hmm.
treatment.
Yeah, so once again, you just kind of cascaded into the
Oh,
list and catalog of
no,
things that are
no,
wrong.
no,
So
no.
yeah, it's interesting how quickly that happens. And yeah, we'll use that as an example for everyone about how easy it is to just slip into that huge catalog of things going wrong.
Okay.
So thank you. Sorry to put you
Thank you.
on the
No,
spot that
thank you
way.
so much. Thank you for telling me that even just talking about the story puts you back in the same
Yeah, it
thing.
does. So let me put you back on mute. And I'm going to take one more caller. So I'm late for my next thing, but I'm going to take one more caller anyway, and it is Kathleen. Kathleen, I've got you unmuted. Are you there? You're unmuted on your end, I can see. Okay, going once, going twice. Okay, my apologies. Apparently the connection is not working for you. So everybody, Thank you so much. Let's just kind of gather our energy together once again, and let's do an integration. So everyone just kind of set aside any distractions, get reconnected with the group here. Beautiful. And as I'm doing this integration so that you can carry this energy forward with you for the rest of the week, I want you to take a moment to think about what exciting thing you're going to do or create, even if it's only in your mind or only in your dreamscape. Just kind of think about what that's going to be. Beautiful. And now everyone take a very, very deep breath and hold it for a moment to lock everything in. And release when you're ready. And now ground yourself in whatever way you like the most. Okay, so I'll play some music in a second, but first I just need to say thank you very much. This is Patrick Prohaska from Lightbridge Academy.